All right, let's get right into it. There's a huge shift on the horizon for crypto, and it's all happening on Bitcoin Cash. We are talking about a critical network upgrade set for May 2026, and honestly, it could completely redefine what the network is all about. So, what's really going on, and why should you care? Let's break it all down.
So, here's the game plan for today. We're going to tackle 5 key things. First, we'll look at why this is such a do-or-die moment for BCH. Then, we'll pop the hood and see what's inside the Layla upgrade. After that, things get a little sci-fi with 2 crazy new use cases: quantum-resistant vaults and autonomous AI agents. And finally, we'll bring it all back to Earth with a look at the 2026 market outlook.
Okay, so let's set the stage here. We're really at a pivotal moment for Bitcoin Cash. The technology and the decisions being made right now, well, they're laying the groundwork for its entire future. To ground us in reality, let's look at the price as of late January 2026. Now, this isn't just some random number. It's the market's current snapshot. It's the before picture, as everyone starts to anticipate these massive changes that are coming. This is our starting point.
And this timeline, it just perfectly maps out the journey. We are right here, in the now, filled with speculation and anticipation. Then comes the main event, May 15th, the Layla network upgrade. And what that unlocks, well, that's the future. We're talking about the potential for entirely new economies built right on the blockchain.
So let's get into the nuts and bolts of the tech that's making all this happen. We're going inside the upgrade itself. And just to be clear, this is not some minor patch or a small tweak. This is a fundamental identity shift for the entire network, and it's powered by some seriously smart technology.
So here's the absolute core of it. The goal is to evolve Bitcoin Cash from being just a payment system into a fully programmable, high-performance blockchain. It's all about completing something called the Cash VM, and you can basically think of that as the network's brain getting a massive upgrade, unlocking its full potential for really advanced smart contracts.
Now, this whole transformation is built on 4 key technical proposals, which are called chips. Think of these chips as the foundational building blocks, powerful new tools that developers are about to get their hands on. Now, what's so cool about this is seeing how these technical tools create real-world magic. Take loops, for instance. It's basically like giving code a copy-paste button, so a complex contract can repeat a task without rewriting it 100 times. That alone can shrink code size by up to 90%. Then you have functions, which let developers build reusable chunks of code, which is absolutely vital for making things like post-quantum security actually efficient. It's all about making building on the chain smarter, cheaper, and way more powerful. And here's the bottom line. When you put all these changes together, the impact is just massive. The upgrade is expected to make building and using DeFi on Bitcoin Cash anywhere from 10 to 50 times cheaper than even the best solutions on Ethereum right now. That is a total game changer. So, with all this new power, what can people actually build? Well, let's look at the first huge use case: securing your money for a future where quantum computers could literally shatter today's encryption.
And that brings us to quantum root vaults. This is an on-chain security system that's designed to provide 128-bit quantum security. To put it simply, it's a way to future-proof your assets against the threat of some super powerful quantum computer breaking today's crypto. It's pretty wild stuff.
So, how does it even work? Well, it uses those brand new tools from the upgrade. Remember those reusable functions we just talked about? They let you take the huge, clunky code needed for quantum-safe security and store it in neat, efficient little libraries. And the loops? They handle all the repetitive heavy lifting. The result is a system that's 10 to 100 times more efficient than trying to do this anywhere else.
Okay, so if quantum vaults felt like science fiction, let's take one more giant leap forward. The second major use case is the rise of autonomous AI agents, actually using the network to manage their own money.
Yeah, the concept is called agentic commerce. We're talking about AIs that aren't just tools we use, but are independent economic players. And for that to work, they need a financial system they can use without anyone's permission, something neutral and super efficient. With its incredibly low fees and new power, the upgraded BCH network becomes the perfect playground for this new machine-to-machine economy.
So what would an AI actually do with its own money? Well, it could run complex trading strategies across different DeFi protocols, all in one go. It could automatically pay for its own expenses, like GPU time. And because the fees are so tiny, it can profitably handle billions of tiny transactions, something that's totally impossible on the old financial rails. It could even vote in DAO. And just to give you a sense of the scale we might be looking at, people are already running the numbers. By the end of 2026, the entire AI crypto sector could be a $45 billion market, with over $2 billion of that being capital managed autonomously by AI within DeFi. Now, I know this is some pretty out there stuff, and it brings up a ton of fascinating questions. So I want to ask you, what are your biggest questions, or even your biggest concerns, about AI managing its own money on a blockchain? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd really love to hear what you think.
All right, let's pull back from the mind-bending future for a second and talk about market reality. Because, having incredible tech is one thing, but how does that actually translate into performance and adoption?
And this really is the core challenge for Bitcoin Cash. It's fighting a war on two fronts. For simple payments, it's up against stablecoins in the traditional banking system. And for all these new, fancy smart contracts, it's going head-to-head with giants like Ethereum and Solana. At the end of the day, success will come down to one thing: getting developers to actually build on this new tech. So, what does this all mean for the price? Well, of course, nothing is ever guaranteed in this market. But most technical models are pointing to a potential trading range for 2026 between about $596 and $846. The final result is probably going to hinge on how smoothly the upgrade goes and how fast the ecosystem can build out real utility.
All right, so let's boil this all down. What are the key takeaways? First, the May 2026 upgrade is a huge pivot, transforming BCH into a truly programmable blockchain. Second, this unlocks super-efficient DeFi and next-level security. Third, it opens the door to wild new possibilities, from quantum-proof vaults to money-managing AIs. And fourth, its ultimate success really depends on closing that utility gap by getting developers in the door.
And that really leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to chew on. As we build these incredibly powerful new financial tools, are we actually witnessing the birth of the future of money? A network built not just for people, but for their autonomous AI. If you got something out of this breakdown and want to keep diving into complex topics just like this one, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching.